from some people and that, some fans he spoke to, talk to, some of us would obviously say, international football is great and that. But yeah, the international break's over again. The championship is back in action. There's quite a few teams going into this set of fixtures unbeaten, and they're on a good run of form. Watford, Leeds, Ipswich. Yeah. And then we obviously talk about Leicester. Leicester back-to-back defeats going into this weekend. I mean, how will Enzo Maresca's side respond? Rotherham, I mean, well, can they get their response this weekend? I mean, they take on Leeds this weekend. Then we've got Southampton. I think Southampton's the most informed side in the Championship at the minute. They're heading to the John Smith Stadium in Huddersfield. Some games then to get through. We want your predictions as well as we go through each one. I'm going to be joined by Football Martin very, very shortly. Let's see what the comments are saying. Joey, mate, how are you? Evening, pal. Are you feeling positive against Watford? I'm, mate. I am. Hello, Kaysen. Hello, Martin. Right, let's get my guest in. You'll know who he is, Mr. Football. Martin, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, thank you, mate. Looking forward to a good run with no international football now. I thought the last two England games were absolutely dire. I don't know about you. I just thought it was just the worst couple of weeks, really. And just the England team is just, there's no inspiration around it whatsoever, is there? So the return of the Championship, I'm excited for. And like you were just saying at the top of the show, it's a nice run now without an international break.
It is week 17, Martin. These fixtures are now going to come thick and fast. It's where teams now start to play 2 games a week, Martin. 3 games a week, in fact. Saturday, Tuesday or Wednesday, and then Saturday again. I mean, there's going to be a lot of... This is where it's going to test the resolve of some of the squads who are in and around the playoffs and who's going to finish where at the end of the season. This is going to be the crucial part of the fixtures now in the run-up to Christmas.
Absolutely, mate. I think it's going to be a really interesting run now, and it's whether Ipswich, they're the team that have, surprised everybody. Really, they've been in incredible form, and it defies all logic, really, what they're doing right now. And can they keep that going into Christmas? I think if they can get to Christmas in a really good position, they give themselves a really good shout. But I think Leicester and Ipswich both have really good buffers at the moment, so they can afford a little wobble if needed be. Maybe Leicester had theirs before the international break. They've got a nice set of fixtures going forward. So, I think it'd be interesting. It all kicks off tomorrow, doesn't it, again, with Rotherham and Leeds. I think that'd be an interesting game. Rotherham managerless. So there's been loads of chops and change of managers, Jack, hasn't there?
Yeah, there's been a few, aren't they? Rotherham's manager's now gone, hasn't he? That one didn't come as a surprise, I don't think. I think Matty Taylor was always going to go at some point. It was just when and who now is going to take over from him. Obviously, there's talk of numerous managers taking over there. Then, obviously, before the international break, you had your Millwall having a new manager, didn't you? Bristol City, QPR. David Wagner this time round. I mean, he saved his job by skin of his teeth, I think, before the international break. Martin picking up that big win against Cardiff. He's still under pressure. I mean, if things don't go right this weekend for him, then is it time to say, you know what, thanks for what you've done. We need a different approach. Maybe that. Do you think this is where some managers now feel that they've got to win as many games as they can, because if they don't, then you can clearly see that you could maybe be out the door?
Yeah, that was an incredible result for Wagner, wasn't it? In that final game before the international break, coming from behind to beat an informed Cardiff side, I think it being 3-2 is a hell of a result, really. Seeing that they've been in such poor form, they lost their last 3 games at home as well, so they're bang out of form. Well, they had a fairly decent start, but they seem to let a lot of goals in. But they're wide open. They're a wide open team, and they're going to need to. They're going to have to stop conceding goals, because he's going to come under pressure if they don't sort that defence out quickly. it's a results-driven business, isn't it? Any football league is results-driven, and if results don't go their way, he'd definitely be the next manager out the door, you think.
This is it. Let's share my screen, actually, Martin. Let's have a look at some of the games from before the international break. Obviously, we haven't spoke about them. Let's have a look at some of the games. I mean, we start off hold on. Wow, we're in bloody October. We need to get far down. Where are we? The 11th of November, was it? The international break would have started, wouldn't it?
There you go. That's the results there. That's the results there.
Talk to me about some of these, Martin. Obviously, Sunderland picked up a big 3-1 win against Birmingham. Birmingham again. I mean, Wayne Rooney hasn't found a win as of yet as a Blues manager.
No.
Sunderland, they're flying, aren't they? I mean, Sunderland, they're one to are really taking that jump for the playoff spot so far, aren't they? They're doing well. Jack Clark, again, doing the business. Patrick Roberts as well. Joby Bellingham's done all right at Sunderland. I mean, he's helping them produce the goods. I mean, what sort of things did you actually look at in the Sunderland-Birmingham game? I mean, Rooney, he needs a different approach, doesn't he, Martin, if things are going to work out, you'd think?
Yeah, they've took a right tumble, haven't they, since Eustace went and Rooney come in. In those matches that Rooney's been the manager, they've conceded a lot of goals. They've conceded 11 under the ex-England skipper. So they're letting goals in big time. But they do play a Sheffield Wednesday side this weekend who we'll talk about in a minute. They're bang out of form. But Rooney will have to turn that round quite quickly. Obviously, they're paying him a lot of money. They've brought him in. He's got a fairly lengthy contract there. So I don't think they'll hit the trigger just yet. But you wonder where they'd be if Eustace was the manager, don't you? You wonder if they'd had this tumble that they've had. But he wants to have another way of playing. But they do have a really good player in Jay Stansfield who plays up front. I really like him, and I've watched him play. He was good against Southampton when he came on, and he's been heavily involved in everything that they've been good about. So the three of Birmingham's last 4 goals, he's played a part in all of them, whether it's scoring or assisting. So he's a key man for them. They need to keep him fit, that's for sure. If you look at the other games, QPR, their new manager's been in for 2 games. He's unbeaten in their first two, both draws, though. They're going to need to start winning games. Marty Cifuentes, he's going to want to start seeing wins. He's going to need to start seeing 3 points on the board. They got a tough one this weekend because they're going to travel to Norwich. Watford, look at that for a result, by the way, against Rotherham. 5 goals.
5-0.
Yeah, 5-0. They're buoyant. They're an informed side. We'll talk about them because Leicester City play them at the weekend. And then, obviously, Michael Carrick's Middlesbrough with that win against Leicester. They've been in good form, haven't they? But, I'm still surprised at the result.
They punished us, isn't it, that game, Middlesbrough? Punished us for not taking our chances. I mean, we had numerous of chances in that game, big chances, you'd call it. But that's it, Martin, when you don't take your chances in games, whether it's Premier League or Championship, you're going to get punished. And, Leicester have got punished. We haven't been battered in any of the games that we've lost this season. We've lost them by an odd 1 goal in the games. Hull, Leeds, Middlesbrough. But it's how you then react to them defeats. And Leicester are now on back-to-back defeats. 2-1-0 defeats, which is obviously not nice because you never want to lose a game in any football match. But like I say, I think Enzo Maresca's now had time to go into this international break and think, you know what, let's go and have a look at the approach and that, and let's see what we can do in this international break and put it right for the Watford game. But then you look at other games, Martin. Hull, they're doing very well. Norwich, a surprise result against Cardiff, you'd say, with Cardiff being in form. Leeds United, again, they've seemed to have hit quite a lot of form. Southampton, the most informed side in the Championship, I think, at the minute, up there with Ipswich. Coventry, again, draws FC, if that's what you want to call them at the minute. Sheffield Wednesday, getting an absolute hiding at home against Millwall. Yeah, it's not what you want as a Sheffield Wednesday fan. I mean, they're really struggling at the minute, aren't they, Martin? Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, they're really struggling. I think they're dead and buried, aren't they? I just don't see how they're going to turn that round, mate. To be fair, they travel away this weekend as well, and I was looking at the stats on this one for Wednesday. Wednesday have not scored a second half goal in their last 13 games, which is incredible. So if Birmingham go in at the half winning, you know that they're probably going to go on and win the game. But you got to feel for the Owls fans, Jack, really, because they've endured over 9 hours of away action without seeing a ball in the net by their team yet to score. That's a ridiculous statistic.
If you're a Sheffield Wednesday fan, Martin, I think you want to turn this off now with stats like that.
Yeah,
it don't really give you confidence, does it, going into this weekend's game with stats like that, saying you haven't scored in an away game in 9 hours of football?
Scary. And so I was kind of looking through everything at the weekend, looking at the form guide and looking at the teams, and I'm looking at the statistics for everybody, and I kind of like started to work out my predictions for this weekend, and it was quite easy to do my prediction for the Birmingham game. I think it will be interesting. We'll come on to that one, but I think we all know where that one's probably going to go.
Yeah, you'd think so. Right, guys, we're going to get on to week 17 and the championship predictions. Me and Martin are going to give our predictions for this one. Each game as we go on, get your predictions. Let me and Martin know what you guys are going for this weekend. We're going to start with a Friday night football, the Yorkshire Derby, Martin. Rotherham taking on Leeds United. Rotherham at home. I mean, last time they played a top 4 side in the championship, Rotherham, they got a point against Ipswich. A well-earned point, I thought. Rotherham, like I said, they're going into this game, we're on a 5-0 battering from Watford. No manager as of yet. Leeds, on the other hand, sit third in the championship. They look to put pressure on Ipswich this weekend. Leeds, of course, in form. I mean, Rutter, Somerville, they're doing bits for Leeds. Dan James. You know, they're banging in the goals. I mean, they beat Plymouth last time round. Which way do you see this Yorkshire Derby going, Martin? Can Rotherham surprise Leeds in this game? Because I think they'll give it a good go.
I think they give it a good go. They're much better at home, and the stats back that up as well. All other than one of the 11 points that they've amassed this season have been picked up in South Yorkshire. So the home form's absolutely key for them. Obviously, Matt Taylor was sacked after that 5-0 demolition of Watford a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, Wayne Carlisle takes the interim charge there. So they've got an interim manager in there. So it's always interesting when an interim manager comes in. You know the players, you know the setup. But can he stop them conceding goals? Because that's their issue, isn't it? Rotherham conceded 32 goals. It's a joint highest in the division this season. So they're letting in a lot of goals. But they take on a championship side in Leeds, and all they do is score goals. They've been superb. 16 games played, they scored 27 goals, Leeds. I think they've got an incredible attack, Leeds. I think they're causing all sorts of problems if they're at the races tomorrow night, which I think they will be Leeds. I think Leeds will be looking to apply some right pressure to Ipswich now. But, it's never an easy place to go, Rotherham, as other teams have found out.
Yeah, like I say, they've picked up most points at home this season, haven't they, Rotherham?
Yeah.
Leeds have now hit form, haven't they? They really have. I mean, it's took them a while to get going, Leeds United. Some games, you know, they could say, how did we not get points in that game, like the Sheffield Wednesday game and stuff like that. Other games, you could see the quality that they've got. I mean, they did scalp Leicester a few weeks back now. A big win for them, you could say, with Leicester being in the form that Leicester are in. But Leeds, like I say, their main aim this season is promotion. I think they've got the players to do so. But like I say, they've got competition, haven't they? They've got real competition with other teams who want the same thing. But I don't see Rotherham winning this game, I'm afraid. I just don't see where that win's going to come from against Leeds for me. I think Leeds, they'll score quite a few in this game. But like I say, Rotherham are going to be made to defend in this game quite a bit, and they're going to have to do so. They're going to have to stand firm. They're going to have to defend for the whole 90 minutes because Leeds are going to come with the pace of Somerville. You know, Rotherham have not got to allow Leeds to hit them over the top and stuff like that. Get in behind because Leeds can do that to you. They can get into space and create space. And like I say, they're third now and really strutting their stuff. And I can only see this going one way, I'm afraid, Martin. I'm going to go 3-0 Leeds.
Yeah, I've gone 4. I just think their attack's incredibly good, Leeds. I just think they're just starting to get some real form out of their key men going forward. I like Glenn Kamara in central midfield. I think he's a really good player. I think you agree he probably played really well against Leicester. Whether he does that week in, week out, I've not seen them week in, week out. But like the likes of Dan James are playing well. Somerville's playing well. Jorginho Rutt is playing well. They're so good in attack. I just think there's goals all over the pitch for them. So I'd expect Leeds to put a few past them. I'm going 4-0. You've gone with a 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0. Martin, our next game goes to St Andrews. Both sides who need a win, Martin, let's be honest. Wayne Rooney hasn't won a game yet. Sheffield Wednesday picked up one game all season in 16 games. I mean, this one is a game of two sides of the coin. Both sides need a win. Both sides, you know, need the points. Sheffield Wednesday more so, you could say, Martin. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday are rock bottom, shipping goals like it's no one's business. Got battered last time round, 4-0 against Millwall. I mean, like you said, they've not scored an away goal in 9 hours of football. I mean, that don't give any confidence to any football fan if their team are in that sort of record. Birmingham, though, I mean, when they played Ipswich, I mean, they looked all right. Rooney were 2-0 up at that point against Ipswich. The thing with Birmingham, they can't keep a lead when they go ahead. They seem to not have that enough about them to see a game out. And I think that's something they struggled with against Ipswich.
Issues. Yeah, they've got fitness level issues.
Rooney wants to play an attacking football, doesn't he, for about 90 minutes.
He's come out and said it as well after that defeat to Ipswich, where his side, they will take courage from it because they were at home and they were 2-0 up in that game, like you said.
To draw 2-2,
yeah, and they will take a little bit of courage that they can score goals. The problem is fitness, and Rooney said he was going to address it, and he's had 2 weeks to work on it. So we'd like to think they're going to come back and they're going to be bang up for the game at the weekend. But like I said at the top of the show, 11 goals conceded under the ex-England skipper. It's not a great statistic. They're a little bit too open. But like we said about Sheffield Wednesday, they're a side that have just, Danny Rowles really struggled to get them going. It's a mission impossible, I think, this job. Even if they spent a bit of money in the window and brought some players in, which they won't, I just can't see them getting out of the mire, really. Player to watch, Jay Stansfield for Birmingham City. I said about him at the top of the show as well.
Scoring goals.
Just scoring goals. He gets involved, makes assists as well. Rooney really likes him as well. So he's got both feet as well. So I think he's a key man for them. But I'm going to go with a Birmingham win. I'm going to go with a 3-0 Birmingham win in this game. I don't see anything for Sheffield Wednesday.
I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0 Birmingham. I think Birmingham will win this one. 2-0 for me.
Yeah, I do. I think it'd be Rooney's first win. And hopefully it's springboard him. I want to see him do well. I've got to be honest. I'd like to see him do well. He's come under a lot of criticism from the Birmingham fans, isn't he? There's some that love him, some that hate him. And it's a fickle game, football, as we all know. But I hope that he can get it right there because he seems a decent enough fella.
Yeah, I think with Sheffield Wednesday, where are the goals going to come from? I mean, if you say Gregory's going to bang in your goals and get you 20 a season, you know what I mean? I don't see that happening, to be fair. And Gregory back in his day, if you said that back in the time he was at Millwall and that, he was good at that, you know what I mean? He'd be that poacher in the box. I just think now he's at that certain point of his career now, isn't he? I don't know, who can I put in that phrase? I'm not sure, to be fair, but yeah, he's at that age of his career now, isn't he, Gregory, where it takes.
It's coming to an end now almost.
It's basically going to feed off, provide what from people who provide for him in it, and if he's not getting the service and that, then
they just don't create a lot of chances, do they? They don't create.
They look like a side who can't create. And
Arthur's gone with the 1-0 Birmingham win.
That's the worrying side, isn't it, for Sheffield Wednesday? They've got no creativity. I mean, Barry Bannon, I mean, like I say, he's a legend at Sheffield Wednesday, isn't he? But you can't rely on certain players, can you, Martin, to get you through it? It's got to be a whole collective performance as a team. It's a team game.
Absolutely.
Dave's gone 1-0, 2-1, 3-0. Yeah, another difficult game for Sheffield Wednesday, this one. But, they might surprise us, Martin, who knows?
You never know.
The next one, we're going to go to Ashton Gate, Martin. Bristol City versus Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough found their feet now, haven't they, in the Championship? I mean, they've come off a big win against Leicester. Bristol City, new manager, Mr. Manning, picked up a draw with Queen's Park Rangers in his first game, having not spent much time with the team. So I guess that's a good thing. He actually has picked up something in his first game, which gives him a confidence to say, you know what, this is where we can work on now, and this is where we'll get better in that, and this is what I need to do to get this team going. And obviously he said that in his press conference after the game, that he can see what's working and what isn't, and where he needs to step in. And that's a good thing for a manager to come out and say that, because not a lot of managers say that, do they, Martin, in football? It's just seems to hide behind a bloody smoke screen or something.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be interesting to see how Liam Manning does it. I think it'd be interesting because he's a young manager. There's, like I said the other day when we were on the EFL forum, there's a big upward trend of young managers taking up jobs at the moment, isn't it? It's good to see. Not all going for the tried and tested anymore, that's for sure. But he said he's described this group of players as a terrific group of lads who are willing to go above and beyond. So I think they'd be well up for this. A home game, I think they'd be well up for it. I know Borough in form, unbeaten in 4 of their last 5, Middlesbrough. And it was an impressive win against Leicester, like we said. But Carrick's men, because of that horrific start they only have a 2-point buffer over Bristol City, which is crazy. It was just due to that awful start. But we got 2 young England players that probably play in this game at the weekend. Sam Bowell will feature for Bristol City. He played for England's under-20s during the break. And Middlesbrough's Hayden Hackney, he played for the England under-21s against Serbia. And he was involved in one of the goals in that game as well. So he's had 4 appearances for Lee Carsley's side. So fair play to him, because I like Hayden Hackney. I think he's a really good player, mate.
I think Bristol City will make it tough for Middlesbrough.
They will.
But then it's the game of who takes their chances. Bristol, like I say, Mr. Manning will obviously want to make it tough now to come to Ashton Gate and play against Bristol City. He's got players who, like you say, want to play football and want to build something at the club. You got a Middlesbrough side, though, who are not shy of scoring goals now, since they've started this run from when they were bottom of the Championship, weren't they? They've now started to piece the puzzle together. Sam Greenwood, another one who, loves a good free kick. I mean, we've seen it against Leicester. Good player, good young player again. I mean, he could be crucial in this game for Middlesbrough, but I think this one will be a tight game between the two, but I see Middlesbrough just nicking this one 2-1.
Go for 2-1. I've gone for 2-2. I think it'd be a draw.
A 2-2 draw.
The spoils shared.
There we are. Next one, Martin, your boys. You take on a bloody Huddersfield Town side, mate, who are at the end of the table again, Martin. Just outside the playoffs. Relegation zone. They're outside the relegation zone. They're in that place. 21st, I think they are, Huddersfield Town. They're struggling under Darren Moore.
They are.
Neil Warnock steadied the ship, but it looks like that ship's kind of like sailing a bit towards a downward spiral again. But yeah, Huddersfield at home, they seem to be better at home than they are away. I mean, they take on an informed Southampton side. This is a big test for them. This is a big ask to get anything out of the game, to be fair. Southampton, though, I mean, they've just come off a 2-1 win to West Brom. You know, it proves that if you can go man to man with Saints and really battle with them, you can make it difficult for them. That's something Huddersfield are going to have to do this weekend, make it tough for Southampton. But I think Southampton, for me, will have too much for Huddersfield. I think Huddersfield's form of a bad run will carry on, I'm afraid. But Southampton, I think they win this game for me. I'm going to go 2-0 Saints. Adam Armstrong.
Yeah, I think Adam Armstrong will be key. Darren Moore's side, though, 4 games winless now, drawn 1, lost 3, and they've only scored once in those 4 matches as well. So they're not scoring loads of goals, which is a massive worry for them. You would say only Norwich City, 17 goals conceded, have conceded more in the Championship than Huddersfield, 15. So they're a side that leak a lot of goals. Saints are a side that create a lot of chances. There's a never die attitude at St Mary's at the moment. I've really enjoyed seeing it. There's a massive turn in the way that they played football in the last block of 5 games. Any Saints fan tuning in watching this, which I know there's a few, they'd all agree with me that we keep going to the bitter end, and it's something that Russell Martin's embedded in this squad of players. And they're unbeaten Southampton in 8 now. They've won 6 and drawn 2. So they're in really, really good form. But like I say, that never die attitude. You know, they broke down Plymouth. They broke down Hull City late on. They broke down Millwall late on. They seem to do this. And even in the game at St Mary's against, West Bromwich Albion, one of the best sides I've seen there, they kept going to the bitter end. And I like the look of Ross Stewart. He's going to be available again for the weekend. Jack Stevens is approaching being fit again. So he's almost got a fully fit squad as Russell Martin. So looking forward to Adam Armstrong, like you said. He's been brilliant. He scored the winner in 2 of the most recent outings, and that's all come after the 75th minute. So he scores goals late in games. 9-0. Well, I'd be surprised to see 9-0. Luke, I'm going with a 3-0 Southampton win. Jack's gone with 2. Yeah. I fancy Adam Armstrong, and I think Ross Stewart will open his account this weekend.
Yeah, I think Ross Stewart's going to be key to Southampton's success, in my opinion.
If they can keep him fit, they're going to need to keep him fit. He's a good signing, but you're going to have to bring him in, and he needs to stay fit. I think it's a big ask, but I think they're bringing another striker in this window anyway. They've come out today and said they're back Russell Martin in the January transfer window. Just like I think those sides that do have the parachute payments have that opportunity to reinforce come January, and it could be the driving force for that back end push of the season.
Yeah, another side who will keep tabs on Ipswich. Obviously, Ipswich play late on, don't they? So, yeah, all eyes on the bloody Ipswich game after we all play at the weekend. Next one, Martin, is Leicester. My boys. Leicester v Watford. I mean, yeah, back-to-back defeats for the Foxes. First time this season it's happened. Lost to Leeds and Middlesbrough. We've not been battered in games. We've had chances in games. We just can't bloody find the net, Martin. And teams have punished us. You know what I mean? They've took their chances when they've got them. The big chances in the game. Leicester have played some really good football, though. We have. But sometimes we just lack that clinical in front of goal at times in games, and it costs us the bloody game at times. You've seen it against Hull. Hull went 1-0. I mean, Leicester had chances in that game as well. It cost us the game. Leeds, we had chances, cost us the game. Leeds won the game. Middlesbrough, a perfect free kick went in, cost us the bloody game. And this is where it gets frustrating for us, isn't it? And, you know, you're always going to get them frustrating games where no matter how many chances you have on goal, you've got to put them away. And if you're not putting them away, this league's an absolute sod for bloody punishing you. And Yeah, I think, like I say, we've had a fantastic season. 13 wins out of 16. Top of the league by 8 points to third. Like I say, this is the international break where we had to regroup, see if we can do a few things and work on a few things, and I think we'll do that. We play a Watford side, who are in form. I mean, you can't overlook Watford at any stretch of the imagination. Leicester have got to go and do their job, but it's Leicester's chance now to get back to winning ways and going out Fox to Hornets, Martin, in my opinion. Like I say, Wilfred Ndidi be back for this game. Yunus Akun, I'm expecting him to be back as well. Enzo did talk about them sort of players. They'll be key for this game. I think we've missed Wilfred Ndidi, though. But I think the Foxes can go and get the job done, Martin. I think we'll turn it around. And like I say, you hit these bumps in the road, but it's how you respond to it after. And I think that's something we've got to go and do this weekend against the Hornets. I think Leicester will go and win this one 2-1. 2-1 Leicester.
I think it'd be a tough game. I think that out of all the sides that make Watford, they had that bad start, but they've just about started to settle now, haven't they? And they're one of, like we said at the top of the show, they're one of the informed sides at the minute. They're unbeaten in 6 games. They've won 3, drawn 3. They've kept 4 clean sheets in the last 5 of those fixtures, and they sit 5 points behind 6th place Sunderland. So they've definitely turned the season around. Jamie Vardy loves playing against this mob as well. I looked at his statistics against Watford, and he scored 6 goals against them in 7 home games. So I wonder if he start Jamie Vardy, if he knows that stat at the weekend. But he loved facing them at the weekend. But no, I fancy Leicester in this one. I was surprised to see, actually, Jack, and wanted to touch upon it. They said that some of the supporters have been questioning the entertainment value. And the manager, Maresca, has snapped and said, if you want quick transitions, you need to go and watch Liverpool play. Have they been questioning the style and what they're doing? Because I think they've been brilliant, Leicester.
Yeah, we've obviously had some fans away happy with the style of football or the way we play our football. Do you know what I mean?
Fickle game, isn't it?
You can't bloody please everybody, can you, Martin? But
No,
at the end of the
can't.
day, we've won 13 out of 16 games. I know some people have questioned the plan B for Maresca. I think this is where he's thought, you know what, if you're not happy with the way I've gone about things, he feels it's working. And it is working. Yeah. It might not have worked in the 3 defeats that we've had, which is understandable, but you can't win every game in football. But like I say, you'd have snapped your hand off for 13 wins in 16 games to start the championship. This league's not easy. It's not. It's not easy at all. You know, we're not going to go and win every game in the bloody league. And I don't think any side's done it. But Enzo's one who likes to come out and speak truth. He's one of them who isn't scared to beat around the bush. If he's got something to say, he'll say it. If it upsets people, then so be it. And this is what you want from the manager, a ruthless side of him, to say, you know what, get behind the lads. You know, it's football, not bloody FIFA. You know, it's not PlayStation, man. Do you know what I'm saying? He even stated that after the whole game. He said, this is real life. It's not FIFA. It's not a bloody computer game. You know, we're going to lose games. But like I say, it's good to see that the managers come out. You know what I mean? I know he did say, if you want to go and watch quick transition football, then go and watch Liverpool, go and watch Leeds, go and watch Plymouth. This is what you want from the manager. The manager's answering his critics. And if we're bloody Brendan Rodgers, you won't get none of that. You know what I mean? He'll go and blame everybody else for himself. But Enzo, you know what I mean? He'll take it on the chin. You know what I mean? He'll take it with a pinch of salt. But if something's not right, he'll obviously say it's not right. Do you know what I mean? I think he's an honest man, and this is what you want from your manager, to be honest, no matter what the circumstances are.
Absolutely. I need to give you my score prediction, Jack. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Foxes win. I think Watford will score. I think they will make it difficult for you, but I'm going to go with the Foxes to edge this one, 2-1.
Yeah, Terry's got 2-0. Big up Terry. Judy's in. Hello, Judy, love. She's got 2-1. 2-0. 3-0. Well, yeah, we're not going to bloody answer things like that back. we're going to bite our tongue on that one, aren't we, Arthur? 2-1. Cannon's first start and first goal. Yeah, Tom Cannon. He's now back fit, isn't he? So he's another one we talked about, wasn't it, Martin? Tom Cannon, when we talked about Ross Stewart. Both injured at the same time. Both are going to be fit at the same time, and they are. Obviously, Ross Stewart's made his debut. Tom Cannon hasn't yet, so I think we'll see Tom Cannon this weekend. Next one, Martin, we're going to go to the Den. Millwall and Coventry. They've both not had the best of seasons, let's be honest. They've not started the way they wanted to in the 16 games that they've had. Millwall, though, picked up a big 4-0 win over Sheffield Wednesday in the last game. Coventry, again, drawing games, Martin. They've drawn more games than won and lost. They're the draw specialist of the league at the minute. Like I say, people would have had them down to make playoffs again this season, but it's not obviously been. I think they've struggled with losing Hamer and Jokerex.
They have.
Millwall, though, new manager in that, who's in England setup and that. I mean, a big win for Millwall, which obviously helps the squad collectively in that with the confidence and that in the squad. So I think Millwall will go on and win this one for me, Martin. I mean, I'm going to go 2-1 to the Lions. What's your thoughts on this one, Martin?
Well, he done well, Joe Edwards. Well, Joe done well, and Joe Edwards done really well in his first game, didn't he? Because they're on a 5-game win one prior to that. So that 4-0 thumping away to basement team Sheffield Wednesday was massive for them, and it just gets them going again. It's always a hard place to go, the Den, isn't it? It's not an easy place to go, but
it is.
Coventry, though, they're just not in form, are they? They're really struggling. It might be a manager that's under a little bit of pressure right now, but Millwall will be happy to line up against Coventry, having lost only 2 of their last 20 games against them. And that was including the 3-2 win in this fixture last season. So
say that again.
So Coventry, they have a really good record against Millwall. Have a really good record against Coventry. Sorry, having lost only 2 of their last 20 against them, Millwall. So it's hell of a run.
Is that it? The Den?
In all games. In all games.
All games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all games. So it'd be an interesting one, that one. I just think that the Sky Blues are just not scoring enough goals, are they? Players to watch out for. George Saville at Millwall's been decent. He was good in their last game for them as well. So he just sort of hit a bit of form. But a new manager freshens things up, doesn't he? So it just all of a sudden you put someone new at the helm, and he's got really good pedigree. He's another young manager, isn't he? So. Yeah, but I don't see anything other than a Millwall victory in this one. I've gone 3-0. What have you gone for, Jack?
2-1.
2-1. Coventry to get a goal. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to go for another draw. I mean,
no.
Yeah, when we talk about Coventry, we always seem to go for a draw or something like that.
I'm intrigued for the next game. I'm very intrigued for this next game.
When you do think they're going to win games over Coventry against some teams, they're still bloody draw or they end up losing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think it's their bad luck this season. I really do. I think Mark Robins is a great manager in the Championship,
very good manager
in the FL, but it's just not ticking for him this season. And you get that as a manager where you've been at a club for so long, you've been successful for so long, and then you hit that sticky patch. And when you do it, that sticky patch, it's how you get out of it. And that's something he's going to have to do.
Totally agree.
Where should we go next, Martin? Should we go to Carrow Road?
Carrow Road is a big game.
See, we spoke about this one on the phone earlier.
We did.
Norwich, Mr. David Wagner's well under pressure. He beat Cardiff last time round, 3-2. QPR picked up a point at home. Finally, QPR fans would say, we've finally picked up a point. After all them bloody home defeats, we picked up a point. See, if we were talking about this game at the start of the season, we'd have Norwich as clear favourites to go and dominate QPR.
We would. Yeah.
But we're talking about a Norwich side now who have got injuries, the lack of confidence, they can't finish, they're struggling. QPR, new manager, new ideas. I think QPR stand a chance in this game now. If you look at the game now as a whole, I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, they've had 2 draws in consecutive games, haven't they? QPR since Cifuentes has gone in there. Norwich were in freefall though. They had no wins in 6 from the start of October. They drew 1, lost 5 until they overturned that bad run of form with that 2-1 win. But they were 2-1 down against Cardiff City. They won 3-2, didn't they? So it was a hell of a turnaround for them. It gave them a bit of encouragement. But 3 consecutive championship defeats on their own patch for the first time since February 2006 for Norwich City. QPR, on the other hand, they're one of the sides I feel that could possibly get out of it. If there's anyone to get out of it, it will be them, I think. I think they're the one side that might just have a bit about them. But their hopes are going to lie with Lyndon Dyche, aren't they? Yeah. He's scored 2 of his last in the last 3 games against Norwich as well. So his statistics against them are not bad. Norwich's John Rowe. He netted the winner against QPR when these teams met earlier on in the season in the EFL Cup. Don't know if he's fit though, John Rowe. They'll be hoping that he's fit because he's a really good player. But QPR, they're only off the bottom thanks to Sheffield Wednesday's diabolical start to the season. So the only thing keeping them off the bottom of the table. But I have gone with a QPR win. I'm going to go with a QPR win. Going 2-1, Jack, I am.
2-1. Mr. Begovic, be happy with that one, Martin.
Yeah, I can't go against him. What are you going with?
1-1 draw.
1-1. I wouldn't be surprised if the points were spoiled there.
Next one, we're going to go with Plymouth v Sunderland.
Home park.
Well, this one, did you say, was it they average a goal in 3 point something, Plymouth, this season? Sunderland are in the playoff. They're fighting for the playoffs, aren't they, Sunderland?
They're a great side.
Plymouth, though, they're not an easy side to play against at their place. They make it difficult for teams. They have beat a few top sides in the Championship this season, haven't they, Plymouth? I mean, when Norwich were competing for the playoffs, I mean, they beat them. They beat Blackburn as well, Plymouth. I mean, they beat some sides who have been in around the top half this season, but like I said, they even made it difficult for Leeds, even though Leeds won the game. So Whittaker, for me, is going to be crucial in this game. I think it'll be Whittaker against Jack Clark.
He scored 7 in 16, Jack, Whittaker, for them. Yeah, he's in really good form.
Go on.
5 of those have come before half-time as well, which is a random statistic, I thought.
Bloody hell.
But I like Plymouth. I think at home they're a good side, aren't they? They're taking a little bit of comfort though, Jack, because they will start this round of fixtures outside the relegation zone. I think that's a massive plus for them. Their form though is not great, is it? Just 1 win from their last 8 league outings, Jack. So form is not great for them, but they'll be pleased at home. It's a big trip, isn't it, for Sunderland? It's a 400-mile round trip for them. So it'd be interesting to see how many fans they take, but what a trip that's going to be. But Sunderland, in their last 3 away games, they've yielded just 1 point. They've drawn 1 and lost 2 on the road. So it'd be interesting to see how this one unravels. But looking to upstage Morgan Whittaker will be Jack Clark, who's been in really good form. He's the league's joint second top goal scorer for this match day with 9 goals. 4 of those, like I said in the show the other day, they come from the penalty spot. But he's a good player, Jack Clark.
See, this is the battle of informed players then. Plymouth won't make it easy for Sunderland. Sunderland have had a good start to the season. We'll obviously want to make playoffs again, but Plymouth, like I say, would have to pick most of their points up at home if they have a chance of staying up. I mean, they'll obviously have to pick up the odd points away from home. They're not in the greatest of form, are they? But they'll be glad they are at home because they can get the crowd behind them and push them on when they need it the most. This would be a right scalp for them. Plymouth beating a side like Sunderland. which way do I see it going at home park? I think
But there's
Sunderland
going to
just
be
come up.
goals. Before you make your prediction, I want to give you one little statistic, Jack. It's the
Go-
hot stat for this game. 6 of Plymouth's 8 home championship matches this season have witnessed at least one side score 3 goals. One side has scored 3 goals. So you just bear that in mind.
I tell you what, we'll go for a 3-goal thriller in it. I tell you what, we'll go for a 3-goal thriller. I tell you what, I'll go 3-2. 3-2 Sunderland.
Yeah, I've gone 3-2. I've gone 3-2, but the other way. I've gone 3-2 Plymouth in this one. I think they might just cause an upset in this one, Jack.
Yeah, 3-2. 3-2, whichever.
But there'll be goals. We guarantee from Plymouth and Sunderland, there'll be goals.
Michael's a Sunderland supporter. Big up Michael, mate. He's gone 2-2. Yeah, like I say, that stat was needed, I think, to make your answer quite clearly, to be fair. Because I think you need stats like that before you actually make your decision, which is good. Martin, we're going to start off with you for this one, mate. You're going to give us the stats for this one. Preston, Cardiff, I mean, both sides. Preston's in the playoffs, aren't they, at the minute? Cardiff are fighting for the playoffs. I mean, they're really doing well under Errol Bullitt. Both sides have had a very good start to the season. You know, they're not where they should be, but they're there because they've worked hard and done really well this season. They've won games they should be winning. And they're two sides who don't know when they're beat, which is good. Good thing to have in a side, you know. It brings that hunger, that determination, say, you know what, we can go on and win this, whoever the opponent is. And they've both done it this season, despite who they've played. But yeah, both sides who are playing some decent football this season. I mean, I know Preston went on a little dip, didn't they, where they didn't win for 6 games or so. But Cardiff, I mean, they're firing this season, really doing well. And they'll come under a transfer embargo, didn't they, where they couldn't buy players for 4 transfer windows. Now they can actually go and buy players for once and boost this squad in hopes for getting to the playoffs. This one at Deepdale, though, I mean, Preston's no easy to beat at Deepdale, but Cardiff, you know, they'll think otherwise. But for me, Martin, I'll go with the stats with you first, and then I'll make my decision after.
Well, yeah, Deepdale's an interesting place for Preston. They've collected 5 of their last 8 wins this season at Deepdale, so it's becoming a bit of a fortress for them. But obviously they grabbed a last-minute winner against Blackburn before the international break, secured a second consecutive victory for them. They remain in the playoffs, like you said, but the last time they went on to win back-to-back games, they made it 5 in a row. But Cardiff, like you say, they're a really good side. You know, as a result here for Cardiff, if they could claim the points in this game, it could, depending on results, have them in the playoff places by the end of this weekend. So that's what they'll be looking to do. They want to push into the playoffs. But I think Preston might just have a little bit too much in this. Like I said, their form, last time they went 2 unbeaten, they ended up making it 5 unbeaten. So I'm going to go with a Preston win in this. I'm going to go with a 3-1 Preston win.
Okay. I tell you what, this is bragging rights. This one is, isn't it? You know what I mean? A win for Preston keeps them in the playoff spots. A win for Cardiff, depending on other results, will take them into the playoff spots. So it's a game where both sides will want to win, and I could see either side winning this, to be fair. But I think Preston edged this one for me. 2-1 Preston.
Yeah, I think Preston at home. I think it's a 2-1 win for you. I've gone with a 3-1, but yeah, no, I think we're both on the right page for that one, mate. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Right then, this one, Stoke versus Blackburn. I mean, Stoke are in some fine form now, Martin. I don't think they've conceded a goal. Is it for 6 games? Did you say earlier on?
Yeah, they haven't conceded a goal in over 400 minutes of football. Stoke City. But Stoke, they wouldn't have wanted that international break to come because it was the wrong time for them. They've gone 5 games unbeaten, so they're in really good form. They're pushing themselves right up the table now. I said to you on the forum the other night, I still think they could be dark horses for the playoffs. But Alex Neil's side, they're tight at the back, aren't they? But they don't score loads and loads of goals. Their tally of only 16 goals so far this season is the joint fewest in the Championship. So they're not scoring enough goals. But Blackburn, they'll be looking to get back to winning ways, that's for sure. Sammy Smodic, he's in that side and he just scores goals for fun, doesn't he, Jack? He's got 10 leading goal scorer in the division right now.
I think so. So Blackburn are unbeaten in 5 and haven't. No, not Blackburn. Stoke are unbeaten in 5 games and haven't conceded a goal for 400 minutes. So how many games are they? How many games is that then where they haven't conceded a goal?
Going what, 5 at least?
Let me have a look.
5 games.
Let me have a look
Maybe
where they're
6
last.
games.
Let me have a look. I'll have a look. Carry on, Martin. Actually.
But the hot stat for this game is Stoke City have failed to score before half-time in 8 of their last 10 home games at the Bet365. So they will need a striker in this window. There's no doubt about that. But Sammy Smodic, who they'll be up against, is the only Championship player coming into this round with 10 goals, scoring Rovers' last goal in all 7 of his scoring performances this term. So, mate, he's in great form. Sammy Smodic, he's so good, isn't he? I think clubs will come sniffing around him come this January window. They're talking that Leeds may go and get a striker. It'd be someone that you might look at, even though they've bought Pirou in there. They're still talking that they might go out and get another striker. Leeds United. It's been heavily spoke about.
Yeah, Stoke. Their last goal they conceded were 4 games ago. I believe it was against. I think it was. Let me just have a look.
They're in great form. Alex Neil's doing a really good job there. He's a manager that gets sides tight at the back, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he did say that they're lacking quality in the final third, and the stats back that up because they're just not scoring enough goals. We said just the 16 goals so far this season.
Yeah, sorry, it weren't 6 games unbeaten. They're unbeaten in the last 5. My bad.
Yeah, last 5.
Yeah, they haven't bloody not conceded a goal in 6 games.
Unbelievable.
The last goal, they haven't conceded a goal for 4 games. Sorry, I'm thinking bloody someone else's bloody fixtures earlier on what someone gave me. But yeah, Stoke's last game they conceded against Sunderland. Sunderland last team they conceded against. They take on a Blackburn side, Sammy Smodic, who can bang in the goals. I mean, he's one of the Championship's top scorers this season. So, Stoke at home, though, you fancy them in this one. What did you go for, Martin?
I've gone for a 1-0 Stoke winning this one, Jack. I think it'd be tight just for the fact that we know that they don't let loads in, but they certainly score goals. So I'm going to go with a 1-0 Stoke City win in this game. I think they keep that run going.
I'm going to go for a tight 2-1.
You're going to go with 2-1. 2-1 Stoke.
2-1 Stoke.
I think it'll be a good game. A good side Stoke. They're in some really good form.
I think they'll be all right in this one.
No, I do.
Blackburn are up and down, aren't they? You know what I mean? You don't know what Blackburn you're going to get on the day.
No consistency at all.
They're unpredictable, aren't they? You could say they're going to lose, then they're winning. You could say they're going to win, then they're going to lose or draw. So, you talk to Jolly Ollie and that, and they speak like that against about Blackburn. You don't know what Blackburn you're going to get. You could see them bloody going there, battering teams and getting the points. But then, you know, in other games you think, oh, we've won this game. But then other teams have battered them, innit? And you think, bloody, how's that happen? You lot come win a game, bloody 10 games or something. And, you know, I think that's the way football is, Martin. You know what I mean? You can never really overlook any team, any opponent. You know, every team's difficult, no matter who it is. That's why the FA Cup's interesting when the FA Cup starts playing. Let's get the last 2 out of the way, Martin. Swansea versus Hull. Hull won their last game. Swansea. What can we say about
floundering in the bottom half of the table, aren't they? Surprising, really.
Yeah.
You know, they've just 1 win across their last 5 league outings. 1-1, drawn 1, lost 3. Dustmen, they're really struggling, aren't they?
Their last game, they lost 3-2 to Ipswich. I think Hull make it difficult for Swansea. Swansea, could Michael Duff be under pressure at any point this season if they don't start picking up the points again? I mean, he spoke to some Swansea fans where you say to me, happy with Michael Duff. Some would say no. Some would say, yeah, we'll give him a chance, see what happens. But like I say, wins can do good things. And this is where Swansea will obviously need the win. They can't afford to bloody slip any more points, I don't think. Do you know what I mean? They can't afford to pick up a draw in this one. It's got to be a win.
They're not in good form at home, Jack. So you look at their home form, 3-match winless run at the Swansea.com stadium for them at the moment, which is alarming, really. Yeah, they've failed to score in their last 2 home games as well, Swansea. But wasn't
one against Watford?
Yeah, it was. It was against
Watford didn't win a bloody away game for bloody 200 odd days, and then when it beat Swansea, we're like 1-0 or something.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 1-0. But Hull City, they have a few issues on the road. Yeah. It's obviously a long trip for them to South Wales, isn't it? A victory could propel them as high as 5th if results went their way this weekend. Wouldn't be a surprise, Jack.
The playoffs.
It wouldn't be a surprise if they won. The Tigers have won 3 of their last 4 games to 0. Keeping it tight on the road, though, has been an issue for Hull City. They've conceded at least twice in 3 of their last 4 league away games. But Hull are unbeaten in 5 of their last 8 away games, won 4, drawn 1, lost 3, with 8 of their 11 overall dropped away points coming across the last 4 trips.
So they leap more goals away from home than they do it there at home.
Jamal Lowe's supposed to be playing quite well for Swansea. I see that he's down
scored
as the star man.
Did he score in the last game?
Yeah, he scored. Jamal Lowe's contributed to both of his side's goals in their latest league game, so he's involved in both.
Ipswich.
Delap's found some form at Hull. Yep. He was described as outstanding by Liam Rossini after his last performance, which he netted his 4th goal of the season in the last game that they played. So Hull City unbeaten
well as well, isn't it?
Philogene good. The hot stat for this one: Hull City, they're unbeaten in 10 of the last 12 competitive clashes against Swansea. 1-6, drawn 4, and lost 2.
That ain't a stat you want to hear as a bloody Hull City fan, though, is it? And just turn away now, mate. You don't want to hear things like that.
You don't want to hear that.
Yeah. Martin's jinxed it now for you. You know what I mean?
Oh, jinxed it before,
I'll tell you what, Martin. I'm going to go for an away win, and I'm going to go 2-0 Hull.
Yeah, do you know what? I've just written down on a bit of paper because I'd not put the prediction in when I typed them out. I just wrote down before you said that 2-0. So we've both gone with a 2-0 Hull City win in that one, Jack.
Yep.
Hull City go to the Swansea.com stadium and get a victory, and now the big one of the weekend. I think this is a brilliant game. I'm excited by this one.
This one's a massive game. Both sides, wins could do good stuff for them. You know what I mean? Ipswich, obviously, very well. Unbeaten since they've only lost 1 game, Ipswich, all season. Their last defeat came to Leeds United, 4-3 at Portman Road. Away from home, though, they are conceding goals. They are. Ipswich have conceded a lot of goals in these last bloody 5 games. They're leaking goals now, Ipswich, and that's a worrying sign for them. They are getting the wins, which this is an Ipswich side who don't know when they're beaten, and that's the motivation you need to have. They're competing up there with Leicester. They obviously have a chance, don't they, for promotion this season, Ipswich? Obviously, people didn't expect them to be in the top 2 at this point, but they are. They're really playing well. You can't discredit them by any stretch of the imagination. They're playing some good stuff, but it's having that depth now to see them through this tricky period of fixtures and that. Can they see it through till New Year? This is the question for Ipswich. There's so many games now coming thick and fast, and this is where you worry about injuries and that. But if they can get through these tricky sides of fixtures till New Year, they have a massive chance of going up to the Premier League without a doubt. But this is the testing side now, what Ipswich are going to come with. This is where the mentality comes into play as well. Have you got enough to see it through? Obviously, a lot of people talk about Ipswich crumbling and that, but I just think
I'm not convinced they
because
crumble.
I just think that's because you either want to catch Ipswich of where they are, or you just don't want them to catch your team. Do you get what I mean? We're all biased at the end of the day, Martin.
Oh, absolutely. And as a Southampton or a Leeds fan right now, you both be wanting West Brom to turn them over at the weekend. But West Brom, I tell you what,
as much as they can. Just slip the wet floor signs out, Martin. Just get them out, mate.
I was really, really impressed with West Brom at St Mary's a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, they're in some fine form at home.
Yeah, he's a good manager. Carlos Corberán, he's got them well organised. He's got them well drilled. Carl Bartley at the back, he's a really good player, the centre back. He scored against Southampton the other week, but it'll be a good matchup against George Hurst, won't it? I think that will be really, really interesting. But they were in good form until they played Southampton. They're unbeaten in 4 till then.
Concede goals but score more. Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, only 3 sides have picked up more points on home soil than West Brom. One of those is Ipswich, as we know, because they're in great form at home. But obviously Ipswich are a side that are in form. They're the only side, I believe, in the league that haven't lost away from home just yet. And I think that key battle will become between Carl Bartley and George Hurst. But George Hurst is in good form. He's already matched his own personal number of league goal contributions from last season in 6 fewer games. So he's took to the Championship like duck to water. He's been incredible. But the statistics for you, the good one.
Third time lucky for him, though, isn't it?
Yeah, the hot stat for this one, I would say, is that ahead of this game, Ipswich have scored in both halves of a league, in both half of a game, a league high with 9 games. So they scored in both halves in 9 games. There's 56% of their games they've done that. So I think there'll be goals in this. I really think there'll be goals in it.
Yeah, I agree. Ipswich are no pushovers. Credit where it's due, you know what I mean? Credit where it's due for Ipswich. They're really doing the graft, and, you know...
They're a great side.
The successes and the rewards are reaping, you know what I'm saying? You know, Kieran McKenna's got this Ipswich side playing some great football. It might not be the prettiest at times, you know what I mean, with them conceding goals and that and picking up draws that they should be winning games in. But like I say, they've just got to keep going, you know. But it's, have they got enough in their squad to see it all through? And that's the big question for them. They've now faced a West Brom side. This is one of the toughest games you could face after an international break. No, the international break's not for another 4 months now. So it's a whole way of fixtures now till March. So it's finding a way to get through teams like West Brom for Ipswich. And if they can do that, then fantastic for them. But this one, like I say, will be a game full of goals for me. It'll be a game where Leicester, Leeds, Southampton will all have eyes on this game. They're joint top with Leicester. Only goal difference is between them. So I think West Brom with their home form and that will just edge it for me, Martin. I think this one's going to go 2-1 to the Baggies.
I've gone with 3-2 to the Baggies in this one. I think they will cause an upset. I think they will win this one. I really like West Brom. I like what he's doing, Corberán. But like you said, the amount of games that are coming now. I was looking today ahead for the next 16 weeks. We play 22 games each in 16 weeks now. So, God, the games are coming thick and fast, Jack. That is for sure. Everyone's going to need a squad, and it will be a test of resilience. How big is their squad? I don't know enough about Ipswich, but 2 important players back from injury.
Yeah.
You're saying there, Burns and both key players for them as well.
Yeah,
I think
this is where your key players are needed, Martin, in this part of the season.
It's quite a we've gone with a bold prediction as you might see on the internet for that one, but it is a bold prediction. That one for me.
It's my bold prediction. big up Benjamin Bloom for the bold predictions.
Absolutely. I'm going to go with a bold one in that one. But yeah, I'm going to.
Martin.
What did you go for, Jack? I need to write down your score because I'm going to track it for you so I can look back at this.
2-1 West Brom.
2-1 West Brom. I've got it.
Yeah. Martin, shout out your channel, mate.
Yeah, give me a follow at Football Martin. I'm over on YouTube. TikTok, I do some good stuff on TikTok. I'm on there most days. Creating Southampton-related content, but a little bit of Championship chat as well. I'm going to do a live tomorrow, 4:30 on TikTok. I'm just going to do a little build-up to Southampton's game at the John Smiths and a little lowdown on all the games that we've just covered for the Championship as well. Just a lot shorter version. And, reflect upon the international break as well.
Yeah, Martin, thanks for coming on, pal. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
I'll catch you up soon.
Thank you, my friend.
Cheers, mate. That was Football Martin. Go and subscribe to his channel, Football Martin _ on YouTube. Let's get him to his next goal. What's coming up on the final whistle then? So, match preview tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. I believe it's a Watford podcast called Don't Scratch Your Eyes. They'll be joining me tomorrow night live from 7 o'clock to talk all things Leicester versus Watford for this weekend's game. Keep joining us for that one. If you haven't checked out the EFL Championship for me, talk to all things Championship, the international break talk during the international break, of course. So, go and check that out as well. We'll have the match day vlog out on Saturday. Go and check that out as we go to the game. And, that is it from me. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Great stream, Jack. I'll see you in the match preview by Martin, by Jack. Catch you tomorrow. Appreciate that, Terry, mate. Take care, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow at 7. And come on, the Foxes. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi all. Thank you for watching The Final Whistle. If you enjoy all our content, please remember to smash a like, share, and subscribe to the channel.